Yo, it's overtflow. What's going on, you guys? How are you guys doing today? Bringing you a story time video, and this story is going to be pretty good, so definitely leave some love for it. This is going to be about the first time that I ever hooked up with a black girl. Oh my gosh, she was real pretty. But anyways, we're going to be talking about this right now. It's going to be the first time that ever happened, that I ever got with a beautiful chocolate woman, and we're gonna go ahead and speak of that. But before we do, if this video hits 200 likes today, I will upload a Q&A video for you guys. If not, then I'll upload it whenever. And if this video hits 350 likes, I'm gonna upload another story time later on this week where I talk about how my family caught me. They found like all my porn one time, so pretty hilarious story. But let's go ahead and get into this story real quick. What's up, flows? Don't you knows I love all of you. Go ahead and leave a like, you guys. Let's try to pass that 300 mark. That would be absolutely awesome. Let's go ahead and talk about this. So back in the day, I can't say any names, obviously, but if you guys didn't know, I'm Italian and Mexican, okay? So most of the time, I've hooked up with like Latina girls or with, you know, white girls or whatever, but I gotta say that, like, I really like black girls. I don't know what it is. I always have. I grew up around a bunch of black people, and so that's what it is. I like some, so I don't know, it's just me, alright? And so, anyways, when I was 16, I actually broke up with one of my girlfriends. We were dating for about like 6-7 months, and during high school, that's a really long time to be dating. The girl that I was dating was very Italian, and she was like very curvaceous Italian girl, very gorgeous, but we ended up breaking up, and like the next week, my cousin I was gonna go hang out with my cousin. He was like, oh, I don't know if I can hang out today, you know, I'm inviting this girl over. And he was like, no lie, she's like a light-skinned black girl with like a super fat booty, super ridiculous. So I was like, oh, that's cool, man. I mean, you guys could do whatever you want to do, but like, let's chill before she comes over. And he was like, sure. So I went over his house, and we were kicking it, and this girl comes over, and she's like really cute. She's light-skinned black girl. I think that her dad was white and her mom was black or something like that. And she's like beautiful caramel skin, light eyes. She has like light green eyes. It's weird. It always looks super pretty when somebody has like dark skin with light eyes. Maybe that's just me. I think that's really attractive though. And she has like a super like plump booty. Like she's really tiny, just with like a plump booty. And this girl is short. Like I'm about 6 foot. And this girl, and at the time I was probably shorter because I was like only 16. So I was probably like 5'9". And the girl was literally probably like 5'2". And just really fit body with like a big old like round booty, and she was really cool. So anyways, what ended up happening is I was chilling with my cousin. She came over, and my cousin didn't know like if she was gonna like get at him or how it was gonna go down. So we ended up just all kind of chilling, and like I remember like we were watching like some music videos or something, and we were all just kind of kicking it. And she kind of was flirting with me. So my cousin, I don't know, he like kind of just gave me the go ahead, but she came over to hang out with my cousin, ended up like flirting with me and give me her number and stuff. And so my cousin was like, dude, you gotta go for that, man. You gotta go for that. And she had just come out of a relationship with some like older dude. He was like an older black dude. I'm pretty sure that he had to be a few years older than us. And so she was dating this guy. And so she had just come out of that relationship, but she had given me her number, and we had talked like for maybe a few days. And I decided, you know, I wanted to hang out with her, obviously. Want to see where it could go. And she ended up saying that she could come over to my house one day, because I was like, yo, you want to come chill? It was like the weekend or whatever. And I was 16 at the time. I think she was 15. And so she came over. Or, no, wait, she didn't come over yet. What happened was I had to devise a plan on how to get her to come over, because when I was younger, obviously, you know, your parents or whatever, my mom, who didn't want no girls in the house, obviously, you know what I mean? Like, I've had girls over before, but she wanted to, like, know the girl before she invited them over, kind of. But my mom wasn't home a lot, so I kind of had a bunch of free time. But this girl was going to come over at night, because that's, you know, when it would work out, obviously, because it would be, you know, that's when the magic happens at nighttime. So what ended up happening was I told my mom, I was like, hey, Mom, I'm going to have a few friends over later. So I named off, like, 2 guy friends, and then I named off 2 girlfriends, and I named the girl in there. I was like, yeah, and, you know, just a couple girls and a couple guys were going to come over, because at the time, I had just gotten, like, a PS3, and, like, nobody really had one yet. So a lot of times, dude, like, some of my friends would come over after school, and, like, we'd play GTA, we'd invite girls over, we'd, like, get food, and we'd, like, watch movies, and, like, play games and chill. And, dude, that was really fun times. But anyway, so that's what I told my mom. And what ended up happening is one of my friends came over, but then he left. And then this girl had come over, and I was like, oh yeah, my other friends couldn't come over, so me and her are just gonna hang out. And my mom was like, I don't really like that. I don't really like that's how that happened. And I was like, oh, you know, we're just gonna hang out, watch a movie probably. Don't worry about it, Mom. Calm down, I'm a man, you know? And so, you know, everybody, I think that my mom ended up falling asleep or going out or something. So it was just me and the girl alone in the house. And we ended up chilling, watching a movie, and I was like, ended up like feeling on her booty, and she looked super fine that day. She had like little booty shorts on and like a little tank top, and like had her hair all did up and stuff. Super pretty girl. And now I'm pretty sure that she's like a model, because I always see her like with these relatively famous looking people, and she's like always like in different places in the country, like in Florida and California and New York, and like I don't know what she's doing, but she could very well be a model because she is very pretty. But so we ended up like just talking, and I ended up like being like, yo, let me see your booty, because like it was just super nice. Like I needed to have that visual, you know what I mean, because I was like already feeling on it, and she was like hugging on me and stuff, and we ended up watching this movie. And she was like talking about how, yeah, I think you're really attractive, blah 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 blah. And we ended up talking about how like I had just broken up with my girl, and she was like, yeah, she had just broken up with her dude, and like she had said that I seen pictures of her man, and he was like an older black dude, and the freaking, what is it called, the thing that everybody says like black dudes have huge wieners, especially when they're older than you. And so I was like, man, so I gotta compete with some huge wiener maybe, I don't know. And I ended up getting her to take off her like little booty shorts, and we ended up like making out and stuff, and she was like rubbing on my tummy and stuff, and she ended up like taking her hand downtown and grabbing my wiener, and I was like, oh man. And she was like, really good feeling right here. She grabbed it and she like pulled it out, and she was like dang, she's like, well, she said a swear word actually, but I'm not gonna swear here. She said, dang, like, you have a big wiener. And she didn't say that in that context. She actually used some profanity there. She was like, thing's effing huge. And I was like, oh man, I win. Like, that was my idea. You know when you do something, or you like you walk into a gym locker room bathroom and you see like all them dudes naked, and you like try not to look, but then you like look around and you're like, yeah, I win. I got the big wiener here. That's how it felt. And it's pretty funny. This is the first time I'm telling this story in like forever, so go ahead and leave a like, because these type of stories, man, I know you guys like story times, but it does get pretty personal, so I do like to have that support on the channel. So please leave a like if you made it this far. And so anyway, she's like, dang, like that's big. She's like, I don't know if I could take that. And I was like, oh, you know, hey, it's cool, let's just like see where it goes or whatever. So we ended up making out, and what ended up happening was like she wasn't sure if she wanted to, because she had just broken up with her boyfriend, and like I was kind of super nervous because she was really attractive, and like I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like I fake it. Like I'm super nervous all the time, but I fake like I'm not, because nobody likes it when somebody's nervous, you know what I mean? Nobody likes that stuff. Like you can admit like I'm a little bit nervous, but then keep like acting confident, because then it's cute. But if you're just like, oh my god, I was nervous, all right, I was nervous. And what ended up happening is she ended up giving me some dome. And before this, she was like, oh, I don't like to give head, I think it's gross, blah blah blah. Ended up giving me some dome, and we ended up chilling and, you know, making out and doing all that stuff. And then like when we decided, you know what, we're gonna keep hanging out after this probably, so we're not gonna do this whole, we're not gonna go all the way tonight or whatever. We ended up going out in and I have a jacuzzi, so we ended up getting like in the jacuzzi and eating ice cream. I had bought some like ice cream because it was delicious, and we ended up just like chilling, talking, and like that's how it went. And we spent the night together, and her mom like woke up early at like 5 or 6 in the morning. I was like, hey, you never came home. So she came and picked her up, and then I got yelled at, but I was like, no, you know, nothing happened, blah blah blah. And that's the story of it. So that's how it went down. And that was the first time that I ever hooked up with a black chick. So it was pretty awesome. And I just think that this story, you know what, yeah, I don't know, I could have named it the first time that I hooked up with a super sexy girl, but at the same time, like, I think it makes it more interesting when you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, my other storytime video was I was like, I hooked up with a hot Latina MILF. I think that makes the story more interesting because you know exactly what I'm dealing with. So that's the story about the first time I hooked up with a black chick, and really cool. So overall, TLDR, too long didn't read version of this. My cousin invited a girl over. I swooped in on her. She had a fat old booty, light skin, caramel skin, light eyes. I totally snuck around my parents, or by my mom at least, by saying that I was inviting a couple friends over, but only invited one. And she ended up spending the night, tell me I had a huge wiener and give me head. And super cool story, really awesome. Go ahead and leave some likes on the videos, you guys. That would be absolutely awesome. 200 likes for a Q&A today and 350 likes for another Storytime video later this week. So love you guys. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Almost to 27,000 subscribers. Love you, and I am over it and out.